Good morning, good people, and happy new week, happy new month, and welcome back to the Week in the Life series. We are currently on episode 8. I hope you've had a good weekend. Mine was filled with work. So I've just realized that I usually film my days from Monday to Friday. Not I've just realized. I know that I film my days from Monday to Friday, but I also find myself working on Saturday and Sunday. But this is just mainly finishing up with the edits that we have for that current week's video. Yeah, so I can say that that's sort of an occupational hazard, but we are good. I've started my day a bit later on today just because I wanted to get a bit of rest as well and just to prepare myself for the week. So as usual, as with Mondays, I woke up to do some admin work to clear up some of the emails that I had from last week that or over the end of the weekend that I was not able to go through. I have also tidied up my calendar and prepared it for this week. I have just scheduled a lot of the things that I want to do this week. Yeah, so this is ideally how I have planned out my week. I have different color blocks for different areas of my life so that it can just, when I look at the calendar, I know this week I am supposed to be focusing more on this. So the green is the time that I set aside for working on cornerstone production. This includes the admin work that I do, any client work, any proposals, and any form of marketing. Yeah. So the purple is my own personal brand content. That includes the Week in the Life video and any content that I plan to shoot on Thursday. And then now the pinkish and the bluish are just now like the sort of personal elements of my life. So this is essentially how my week is supposed to go. It doesn't usually follow this pattern family, but yeah, this is somehow how my week is supposed to go. My intention for this week is to mainly work on the edits from the client shoot that we had last week, and that was a client reel, but I know that it will flow in sort of an easy way because I will be editing based off the script that I was given by our client, so that will be so much easier for me. And I think I have fallen back a bit in the area of marketing and applying for grants and opportunities, so that will be my main focus for this week. For today, for Monday, that is today, I want to try as much as possible to finish up editing the reel for the client, or if I'm not able to finish it today, I know that I will be done by tomorrow, hopefully before midday. So before I start editing, I actually just jumped into Instagram and YouTube to ensure that I schedule the posts that will be going up this week, so that I do not have to worry so much about that, but actually focus on the main work that I want to do in the week. Then the rest of the week, or most of the week, will be devoted to marketing efforts, doing grant research, and also reaching out to the brands that I had listed, I think 2 weeks back, 2 or 3 weeks back, or was it last week? I'm not really sure, but I also just want to use this week to focus a bit more on the outreach. Yeah, because I know that is also an important part of building a business. You cannot get more clients without actually putting yourself out there. So that is what I will do this week. I hope most likely on Wednesday and on Friday, but on Thursday we have our content shoot. Yeah, so this week I have also devoted a bit of time to planning the content for this week, because for this week my intention is to is to write a letter to my 21-year-old self, because when I started photography when I was 21, I started photography in 2015 in August. So I just want to sort of write a letter to reminisce the time that has passed, and just to also sort of look forward to all that is coming. So I just want to devote a bit of time to that, to write the actual letter, and now even to prepare some of the visual assets that I think I would need for the shoot. So I think that is sort of my week in a nutshell. Yeah. I've noticed that most of my days are usually just here on my desk, working, editing, but I know that's just part of the job. The time that I actually spent out filming or photographing is is quite limited, or not limited. Is a very small portion compared to the time that I spend on the back end, just trying to make sure that things flow in the best way possible. So for today, yeah, I think I don't really have much to say today, because today is just an edit day, if I can call it that. If I've had a shoot over the weekend, I think Monday is just a day where I try to finish up with the edits for that, and maybe tie a few loose ends when it comes to admin work, and just planning out and preparing for the week that is ahead. Yeah, so I know today is an edit day, so I think I don't really have that much to say. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, good people. Welcome to Tuesday, another day in our week in the life. Today we are still editing the client reel. I woke up feeling a bit tired today. I think I'm also feeling a bit mentally out of it. I don't know why, but I know we'll be good. But my intention for today is to finish up editing that client reel, and then when I send it out, as I wait on feedback from them, I think I will spend my afternoon just sitting, just relaxing. So it is now 8:17. My intention is to get done with the reel by at least, or earlier, or by the latest by 12, so that I can spend most of the afternoon relaxing, and maybe start working on the letter for the content that I want to shoot on Thursday. So yeah, I think I had initially planned to start doing some marketing efforts and outreach today, but I think sometimes you have to answer to the call of your body, or respond in kind with how you feel. So that is why I'm just giving myself time to finish editing the client reel, and then move on to relaxing. Yeah. I think as creatives or as a business owner, you usually feel like it's all gas and no brakes, but sometimes you actually have to give yourself grace. You have to just take the day as it comes. Yeah, you do not want to push yourself so hard that you end up crashing out or burning out. So you just have to give yourself the grace that you need to ensure that you can keep doing this more sustainably and more long term. Yeah, so I'm somehow almost done with the client reel. I assembled it in the way that I would want it to flow. So it's now just about doing some effects and sound effects, some visual effects, some sound effects, adding on the music and color grading. Yeah, I think that's just about it. Do I have anything else really? No, I think that's all that I have to do with the reel, and then send it out to the client so that she can give me her feedback, and then we see if I have to redo it or I have to make some corrections. Yeah, today is going to be another chill day. I think for this week I'm not going to push myself so hard, because I also just want to ensure that I do not burn myself out, to ensure that I am actually in the right mental space to keep working. Yeah, so for today I will just finish up with all the work that I have to do, and then now structure the rest of my days to be a bit lighter, hopefully.
What's good, y'all? It is grind time for your boy, but the basis of this video will be all about the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P smartphone gimbal. The basis of this video will essentially be taking you guys through the process of creating content throughout this week and shooting it all on an Osmo Mobile 7P gimbal using my iPhone 16 Pro. This is the Mobile 7P itself, and as you can see, it's extremely small, lightweight. And aside from me on a device like this is important, because if this is not small, I'm not bringing this with me and using it. It kind of defeats the purpose. Essentially, you just take your phone, put on this magnetic clamp. I love this design too, because this doesn't hit any buttons when it attaches to your phone. Your phone snaps straight onto the gimbal magnetically like so. And then once you flip this up, the gimbal will power on, and you're pretty much good to start shooting. Now let's get back to this multifunctional module. Snap this in a place like so. It's gonna power on and we can start using it. The audio throughout this video has been from the DJI Mic Mini. And usually if you wanted to use this microphone, you need to connect it to the receiver, obviously. But with this multifunctional module, you can connect the DJI Mic Mini straight to the module and use that audio in your smartphone and use it again, which is really clutch. So that's one of the really useful features with the multifunctional module, but another really useful
Good morning, good people. Welcome to Wednesday, and for today I have just set aside my morning to work on the grant applications and other applications for other opportunities that I had lined up. So I have been carrying along several opportunities that I haven't applied to for the past 2-3 weeks. I started them I think last week but there are some that I haven't finished up with. So my intention for today is just to make sure that I can finish up with those and put my best foot forward when applying to them. So that is my intention for today. I think today is going to be another sort of slower paced day because I do not have so much to do. After applying for this, after I finish applying for these opportunities, I will work on the revisions for the reel that I was working on yesterday. I was able to finish it towards the end of the day and send it out, and I have just received the feedback from the client. So I want to do those revisions as quickly as I can, and then if possible towards the end of the day today, I want to spend some time working on the letter to my 21 old self. Yeah, that is my content for this week, so I have to actually start writing that letter. Yeah, and also I've been thinking of moving the content day from Thursday to Friday, just because I feel like sometimes having the content day on Thursday interrupts my week a bit, or interrupts my flow. So my intention is going to be to move that content day to Friday so that I can finish up, because most times for these content days I usually finish shooting before afternoon. So when I move it to Friday, I can now move other things to Thursday. So I think Thursday I'll just be spending like the whole day working on the edit for the week in the life, because I have after working on them for a while now, I've seen that spreading them out along different days is sort of taxing, because it means that I have to do many different tasks in one day. And for me, I like focusing on one task at a given time, so that when I focus on one task and then finish it, I can comfortably move on to the next one. So I know that if I start editing this week in the life video early on Thursday, by the end of the day, I will be done with it. Yeah, so looking to shift things there a bit and see how that will go. Yeah. Good morning, good people. Today I've decided to start the day, or this day, a bit differently, because I feel like you're so used to seeing me seated at my desk. But today I just want to start this day in a bit of a different space or a different place. And as you can see, I am in my comfy sweater. So that means that I have a long day of editing today. Today is Thursday. It's supposed to be our content day, but I decided to shift things up a bit so that I can push the content day to Friday, and now Thursday be an all edit day, if I can call it that, so that I can focus on finishing up with the week in the life video, that is episode 7. So that is my intention for today. But before that, I want to spend like an hour or two working on the letter for tomorrow. So the thing with that letter, I've had quite a bit of difficulty trying to write it. But yesterday, an idea popped into my head. I don't think this was my own idea, but I think it was some help from the Father. So the thing is, instead of trying to write it as like a complete letter, or trying to remember everything that I need to write down or I need to say to my 21-year-old self. I think that it would be best to divide it into the years that have passed, because I think it would be easier for me to remember the highlights from each year as opposed to trying to focus on it as a whole. Yeah, so that is what I want to do right now. It's currently 8:50, so I will give myself up to 10 to work on that, and then now focus on finishing up with the edit for The Week in the Life episode 7. Yeah, so I think we are sort of cruising nicely. Yesterday I also spent a significant amount of time working on the revisions for the client reel, so I finished up with that early this morning and sent it out. So I'm just waiting to hear if there's any more feedback or to see how we will proceed with that. But yeah, it's been a good morning so far, and I think now that I have introduced my day, I can move on to the desk. It's just here, slightly out of frame. Yeah, so let's do that. So, as I told you while I was seated here, my intention is to work on the letter to my 21-year-old self. So what I usually do is to write out my ideas, and because the thing that I always have with me is my phone, I start writing the idea on the phone notes app, so that when I shift onto the laptop, everything is already here, so that I can easily start working on it and even fleshing out the idea a bit more. So I will record my screen to show you how the starting point for that note. So I will record my screen just to show you the starting point of how that note looks, and what also I will do to try and improve or add on to the idea with some of the key points for being between those 10 years. Okay, so let me just start recording my screen. Okay, so this is the beginning point for my letter. So this is what I've written. As I turn 31 in 2025, I'm going to write an open and expressive letter to my 21-year-old self, talking about how far we've come, what changed, some life experiences, where we're at and where we are going, and 10 years as a photographer and filmmaker. So I already started it out, so it's high level. You don't know it yet, but in a few months' time, you'll pick up your first camera. Can't believe it's already been 10 years, for me that is. So I feel like this is, because I started photography in August 2025, I feel like this is a good starting point because we are now in May. Yeah, so I think as the idea develops, this is interesting because it is speaking to the year 2025. So let me just now start working on the years. I think I'll add a table. Yeah, so here and highlight, so that when I finish writing on, so that when I finish writing this, I can now easily just transfer it into the into the rest of the note. So we go 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. I have to add, let me also add 2025. So 2015, first camera, first conceptual portrait shoots. Yeah, this time in 2015 I was in third year, so I don't really think there is more that I can add on to that. 2016 I finished campus. Lost the camera to Shylock. That's a story for another day. And I think all in all, 2016 was a very difficult year for me and also for my family. But as you can see that we are here, we're all good. Yeah, so 2016, I also just wanted to refer to something like my Instagram or my Facebook, because I know that some of the memories that I had, I put them on there as well. So let's see. I think there are some years I remember easily, but there are some that I really don't. It is 2016 when I started doing video. 2019. So at that time I was really adventurous, taking photos of anything and everything. Yeah, I think also, let me add on, 2015, traveled to Siaya first. Yep. Yeah, so that is 2016. This was one of the first photos that we shot. August 27th, 2015. You can see the camera. This is my sister, my eldest sister. You can see the camera that I had. It was a Nikon Coolpix L830, a maroon camera. Yeah, these are shots from Siaya. This is Lake Victoria. This was the backyard of our home. Backyard again, my mom, my sisters. Yeah, I really experimented a lot at that time with that camera. It was good times. It was good times. This is 2016 as well. This is me in campus, I think 4th year. This one. So I think this was one of the last photos I shot in campus, at the UON bridge crossing into town. Yeah. And I think this is also one of the last photos I shot with the camera. It says 2017 here, but I know it was 2016. This was the conceptual portrait shoot. Yeah. But did I share photos of it here earlier? No. But I think I'll add photos of that into the final video. Yeah, some of the last photos I took of that. So on this was a rented camera. That time I went to rent the Nikon D7200, but because I was shooting Nikon at that time, and it was the kind of the camera that I was used to. But I think something happened with the rental with my friend who was renting the camera to me, that he did not have it at that time, so I had to take the Canon 6D. And it was an interesting experience because I had to take the camera on Saturday night and have a shoot on Sunday. So I spent most of that night just learning the camera and the ins and outs of the camera. Yeah, so this is 2018. So I spent 2017 and the most part of 2017 so I spent the most part of 2017 without a camera. But I think towards the end of the year or in early 2018, my dad sent me a camera from where he was working. That is when I got the Nikon D3300. That is the camera that I have been using up to 2022. So I don't really remember what happened. In 2017, I started my first, not for really fast, but first business outside of photography. That was Deep End. I also graduated in December. So that is 2017, yeah. And then let's go back. Let's see. So at that time, I think the feeling of having a new camera is very, very exciting. So I was shooting anything and everything. I used to go to different pop-up markets. Like this one I shot at the Heritage Chronicles in 2018. So I used to go to different pop-up markets and photograph like the setups, the people there, just trying to build a network and build my portfolio. Yeah, so I did a lot of different projects at that time. So it was a very interesting time. I love this photo. I really, really love this photo. Yeah. Some more portraits. Me in one of the first pieces of merch from Depend Clothing. Yeah. Let me take you to that page so that you can also see a few things of what we did. Yeah. So my target was to make Africanized denim wear. Denim mixed with African fabrics such as the Masai Shuka, Ankara. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, you can see October 2017. This logo was designed by my sister, by the way, my eldest sister. She's very talented in that. One of the first pieces we made. Yeah, it was just about trying things out. Yeah, memories. But we're good. Yeah, I think it was also around this time that it was not at this time. So as you can see, I have loved shooting self-portraits of myself, and that is something that I carry along until this day, because it helps me experiment and just try to do things different, to do different ideas. And so even I think on an emotional level, it helps me work through the space that I'm currently at. Yeah, so this is also one of my favorite photos of my friend Glow. And in 2018 December is also when I went to our first pop-up market as Depend Clothing. Yeah, so you can see that the photos are really helping. The pop-up market that we went to was Power Festival. There I met Giuliani, I met Boniface Mwangi. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good time. So I think the photos are really helping guide me. So these are the different projects that I also shot. I worked with the African Cancer Foundation as well for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah, so I think I'll just, instead of showing you how I write the rest of the letter, I'll just show you how I collect the memories through the photos. Yeah, all this is 2018. Then we traveled to my dad's place, where then we traveled up country to where my dad was born, or where my dad is from. And I got one of these. This is also, I think some of the photos that I'm looking at right now, I don't like them because of how they look. The photos are very good visually, but they also take me back to a time where things felt, I don't know, simpler, or to a time where, yeah, they just bring memories back. So this is the beginning of 2019. So 2019, what interesting thing did I do? I think the most interesting thing that I did in 2019 was start doing video. And I started doing food photography and food video. That is how I got my start in video rather. So trying to do vlogs of me going to restaurants. I went to one restaurant and also just showing the DIY and creative side of my photography. All those videos are still on this channel, so you can scroll back and check them out if you would like to. Yeah, I think, okay, so this was the beginning of 2020. Was this 2020? Was it the end? So I think blankets. Let me look at that, because I think I know. A few weeks ago. So I think I think it was in 2019. So I photographed my first concert. Those blankets with tags. sasa ni nani? And then 2020 came and COVID hit. Yeah, so I think I'll just write here COVID-19. Yeah, and then I think also before that, a few weeks before that, I shot my second live performance, and you can see that here in these photos, these ones with Ben Soul. Yeah, these are real throwbacks. So doing more food photography, posting some throwback photos. Yeah, and this is also one of the photos that I have shot before. So I shot this for my friend. I don't know how many years it was ago, but I posted it as a throwback because we were supposed to shoot again for her birthday, and I wanted to show how different how she has evolved, and even how my own style has evolved. So this, I think, was in 2018, yeah, and then this was in 2020. Yeah, 2018. Why was I racking my mind? And it's always here. Photography, style, evolution. Yeah, so it's moving. It's moving. Yeah, and then I think also in 2020, towards the end of the year, we launched website for Deep, and then I think also this also we also shot this in 2020. This was one of the first videos for my short form documentary series called Art and Soul. Yeah, so I think I'm not really sure how far, if we shot this towards the end of 2020 or we shot it in the beginning of 2021. Yeah, I think I'll just, let me put that first episode of Art and Soul. So at this time, I was also focusing on getting grants to continue with this series. The documentary bug had beaten me, and I was hooked. Yeah. So these are just a few more videos. These are just a few more assets from my time shooting in 2021. These are all throwbacks. January 2020. Yeah, these are all just throwbacks. And then this was a self-portrait series of me in 2021. I think I moved out in 2021 into this whole house. I think I moved out because this one, did I shoot here? I think this one I shot here. Yeah, I think this one I shot here. Or is there any other self-portrait here? Yeah, this one I shot here. So 2021 moved out of my parents' So that was an also exciting time. So I'm just putting like the highlights of it all so that I know how things go, and also got the opportunity to shoot Ferdinand Manyala. This was all 2021. In 2022 was, I think let me continue with focusing on grants. Started working for OB Africa. This was sort of a contract freelance-ish because it was on a need basis. Whenever they needed me, I was there. And then landed my first grant. Adobe Stock Artist Development Fund 2022. Upgraded camera to Sony A7 III. Upgraded laptop to MacBook Pro 2020. This laptop. So I think it's about time to move on to the next one. And also upgraded phone to iPhone X. This one. What else? What first night kit? Yeah, so all this was because of the Adobe Stock Artist Development Fund. Yeah, that year was a blessing. That year was a real big blessing. And this photo is from my job I shot for OB Africa, for an activation they were doing for Clinique. Then these are some of the photos from the Adobe Stock Artist Development Fund, as you can see. This was part of the Art and Soul series. Yeah, interesting times. Made my first reel. Let's see here. Started working on a few more documentaries. Okay, so I think I have also something for 2023. Okay, in 2021, when I moved out, got into my current relationship. I love her. I really love her. So 2023 is got my first brand sponsorship with Milanote. Yeah, so I think this is a good point from where I can pick up the script. Yeah, I think this is a very good point. So yeah, now let's once I am done working on this, we can jump into editing the week in the life video. Yeah, but I think also my time is quite gone, so I think I will just start editing the video first and then now see how to process this and work on this at a much slower pace so that I'm not rushed and actually work on it in the best way that I can. The good thing with having it on here and it is because it's also on my phone. So whenever I'm seated and just chilling on my phone, I can start working. I can continue working on this. Yeah. So let's just close that up. Close that up and jump into DaVinci. I'm also testing out the public beta for DaVinci Resolve 20. So I will let you know how that goes. I've not seen a really big difference between the 19 and the 20. I think it's just in terms of interface and a few added on features. But I think until I actually edit something within it, I won't have any good info or good feedback on that. So let's jump into the edit. So I think it was interesting going down memory lane, and just so that I don't bore you with all this, I think I will leave this here for now and just continue working on now the script based off the information that I have collected from the photos, which are my memories. Yeah, so that's a really good one. It's a really good time. So good morning, good people. Welcome to Friday, our newish content day. But I already feel like Thursday works best for me. So yeah, but yeah, I think Thursday works best for me because I already feel like I'm in sort of a rush. I think now is 9:30, so I feel like the day has already gotten away from me. Yeah, so I think I will continue working with Thursday as our content day. But for today, my intention is to write a letter to my 21-year-old self. My reason for this is because I started photography when I was 21. I think we are now in May 2025, and I started photography in August 2015. So I thought that it would be like a good way to look back and to just remember the journey that we have been on. Yeah, so this is my current setup. Let me just pick you guys up so that I can sort of walk you through what is going on. Yeah, so we have our main light, our key light, the Amaran 100D with a softbox and a grid. We have the negative fill over there on the opposite side, and we have our camera right there, the Sony a7 III, and the mics that we are using are the Holyland Black M1s. Yeah, so let me just go to this other side so that I can show you where I'll be sitting. So I've moved things quite a bit around the house, and that is where I'll be sitting for today. My desk, I've moved it to the center of the living room. So I've just finished like the top level setup. So I want to adjust a few things here and there and see how the final image will look. But I feel like this is the sort of setup that I am already going for. A dark and moody vibe, but I guess we'll just have to see how that looks once I adjust everything. So this is somehow sort of how the final frame will look. I'm still adjusting a few things here and there. I think I will bump up the lighting a bit. Let me just increase that to see how it looks. It's currently at 50, so I think I will do 60 or 65. No, let me do 70 so that I can have a bit more control in the edit. I think this is a sort of a good point to start from. Yeah, so as you can see, I am all dressed up ready to write the letter to my 21-year-old self. Yeah, because this is serious business. I have also decided to dress a bit more seriously. I think I'll just adjust the framing a bit, but I think we're at a good point to start. So let me adjust the framing, then move my laptop in a bit closer, because that is, from my laptop is where I will be hearing the voiceover from the letter. I will not actually write the letter in my book because I think that will take quite some time. So the thing that I will do is have one take where it is this wide of me writing all through for the, I think, 8-9 minutes that the voiceover will be running, and then I will just shift a bit of angles here and there to see how to like for the B-roll. So my thinking for this was instead of having like the voiceover running for the letter and the visuals of me writing, and then throwing back to some old images, I think I will just have the voiceover running and now the visuals of me writing. Yeah, I think that somehow works better. I don't know. But the good thing is that from the documentary of myself that I made last year, I had gathered assets from way back. So if need be, I have them. But if not, I will just work with the way that I'm thinking right now. I think all of that I will decide in the edit. Yeah, but I think we're at a good point to start. So let me just adjust the framing, bring my laptop in closer, and then we start. Yeah. Yeah, so we are good. We are good to go. Let me just show you the reverse of how our setup looks. I will not have this mic on as I write the letter, but yeah, I think I will place it in strategic places so that it can pick up a bit of the audio as I write. So let me show you the reverse. So there is our camera, the Sony A7 III with the Holyland Lac M1 mics. We have the Amaran 100D with the softbox and a grid. Our negative fill that is too close for comfort. And the laptop here. Yeah, the laptop which will be playing the voice over. So my intention is just to sort of create like a letter to my 21-year-old self, and as I had explained it to you, yeah, I don't think I have so much to say. I have also taken quite a bit of time doing this setup, so the thing that's actually now left is just to start. Also, I know that at the bottom left side of the frame, which is on the camera right, you can see a bit of the reflector and a bit of my laptop screen, but that would be so much of a problem because the way I have framed it is I have left a bit of space at the bottom here and a bit of space at the top so that I can finish up, so that I can make sure that it is framed exactly the way I want or the way I'm thinking. So yeah, let us start shooting. By saying that I have it framed the way I want, I know that I have some leeway or some room to correct this edge in the edit. Yeah, so sort of a dark and moody vibe, back to my roots, back to the kind of look that I enjoy shooting. So it has been kind of hectic shooting in the morning. I think I will stick to my regular my regular schedule of shooting on Thursday mornings, just so on Friday doesn't feel hectic, especially when I have to spend my time in the afternoon as I want to do right now. My time with God in the afternoon as I want to do right now. Yeah, so thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for being there all through the week. Thank you for engaging with my content. And I will see you again next week. Peace, love, and light.